Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My friend Hakim has been talking about Tajikistan's foreign policy and priorities to have relations with the other states. This is very, I would say, educative lecture. And I agree with him, sir, that bilateral relations these days are essentially driven by the national interest. And it is therefore not very relevant these days, I would say, to discuss focusedly on the shared past and other such things and values, because every nation has a right to establish, promote, and further relations with the other states, keeping in view the economic, political, and security interests. So Pakistan has always been desirous of peace, and you have talked about peace in Afghanistan. Yes, it is Pakistan's priority to have peace in Pakistan. Quite recently, even day before yesterday, our Prime Minister has visited Afghanistan, and before that, the National Security Advisor has also visited Afghanistan and paved the way for the meeting between the two leaders of Pakistan and Afghanistan to restore peace in Afghanistan. Because we believe in Pakistan that peace in Afghanistan is prerequisite and very essential for a stable, peaceful, and prosperous region. So every project, may it be CPEC, may it be OBOR, may it be One Belt, One Road, is linked with peace in the region. Because without peace, we cannot have these projects implemented. So this was regarding your introduction before my presentation on Pakistan-Tajikistan media relations. Do we have this presentation? So the sequence of presentation, essentially I have to focus on, in fact, Pakistan-Tajikistan media relations. Why this topic and why media is so important? I will skip the other parts of this presentation. I will only focus on media, because I think media these days is what they call the fourth pillar of the state, but I would call it the first pillar of the state. Why? Because every state or every nation, may it be developed nation or developing nations, if at all they have to depend on media, they first deploy media to start their initiatives. Let's see what happened in Iraq. The United States media, they created perception all over the world that Iraq has mass destruction weapons and it needs to be punished. And these mass destruction weapon needs to be destroyed. So everybody around the globe started believing that yes, this country is a rogue country and this needs to be punished, and these weapons of mass destruction needs to be destroyed. So they invaded Iraq. And similarly, what happened after 9/11? They created a perception that this is a rogue, I would say, organization, Al-Qaeda, which has in fact started their activities in United States, and now they have got asylum in Afghanistan, so they invaded Afghanistan. So nobody objected, and there was an alliance, international alliance. So media created that perception, which facilitated the United States and its allies, and they continued this war, and they continued this invasion in Afghanistan for a very long time. So I would now discuss how media operates, this fourth pillar or the first pillar of state, how it operates. It's a very innocent, I would say, it's a very innocent question and a very innocent answer. Well, media can only inform, they can give news, and they can provide you entertainment, they can provide you these dramas, etc., etc. But how media operates, this is only known to the people who use this media to their benefit. So media informs. Yes, this is the first and primary duty of media because it provides information. And how it provides information, that is up to the person who is giving that information. What information they want to give to the public and to the national and international audience and viewers, this is up to them. So they provide a news in such a manner which is a doctored information that essentially is in their own interest, and that has a direction, that has a motivation, that has a sort of, I would say, malified intention, which is in fact ingrained in the minds of the people which are having that information. And why I say, because we should have media relations, Pakistan-Tajikistan media relations, because media is many dimensions. It has many dimensions. And I mean, this is also media. It's a form of media. It's a vehicle of communication. We are discussing these issues. We are discussing and having discussions and dialogue with the Tajikistan people and other Central Asian states. This is also a form of media. So this is how media operates. And then we have a very important spectrum, that is the social media, which is used by a common man. They create perception all around the world against or about a person, about a state, about the policy, about the issues. So when I say that Pakistan and Tajikistan should have good media relations, I mean that we should use the media in the bilateral national interest. We should promote our interest through media. So, for example, if they have a news agency, we in Pakistan, we have a number of news agencies. We signed an agreement between their news agency and Pakistan's national news agency, APP. But I believe that is not, in fact, functioning very well, and it needs to be, I would say, revised. And I would suggest them that we should have the National News Agency of Tajikistan. They should sign an agreement. They may sign an agreement with other private channel or private news agencies in Pakistan. Pakistan's media scene is very important to see, because we have almost 90 TV channels. And to everybody's dismay, all those media channels are politically motivated, and they are all giving 24 hours a day. They are discussing, they are giving you political news. They are not, in fact, educating the people. They are not providing the information which the people need to know. So there is a need that we should use that media. These TV channels we should have interaction with the Tajik media as well. For example, we may sign agreement with the Tajik television channels, with the Pakistan television channel, and we have exchange of information, exchange of documentaries with the Tajik people, Tajik radio and Tajik television, so that anything about Pakistan, all good news and all such news which are very important for Tajikistan to know about, should be shown on Tajik television channels. And similarly, Tajik television dramas and Tajik television, documentaries may be shown on Pakistan television and other channels of Pakistan, so that they should know about Tajikistan. Because the relation between the two states, when they remain government to government level, they are not, in fact, I would say, they do not get promoted. It is very important to have people-to-people contact. And when you can have people-to-people contact, when you have contacts through your media. So this is very important, to have bilateral relations on through media. For example, media. For example, we were discussing yesterday that we should have people, students from Tajikistan to have language training in our National University of Modern Languages, and National University of Modern Languages can offer them scholarships to have language programs. Similarly, our academy for this diplomatic training in Pakistan can provide training and can offer training to the Tajik diplomats to come to Pakistan and have diplomatic training in our diplomatic academy. And similarly, the bureaucracy in Tajikistan can come to Pakistan and can have training in civil service academy. Because what is important is India, this country came into being in 1992, and they have been waiting that somebody should come and have relations with us. We established a embassy there in Tajikistan in 1992, and Tajikistan embassy was set up in Pakistan first, I think, in 1994. So it is important that these two embassies work together. Our embassy in Tajikistan and other Central Asian states, they must create an environment that our cooperation to promote people-to-people contact in with the Central Asian states and Pakistan is promoted directly. Because if we promote these relations, that will be very helpful. And we have a very important, I would say, important tool, that is, not tool though, but a very important common factor, that is Iqbal. My friend Hakim was reciting two verses of Iqbal. I can bet none of us sitting here in this hall will be remembering those two verses which were recited by you, sir. So this is important, that we should market Iqbal as well, because Iqbal was a poet of future. He talked about future, and not only he discussed issues of today, but he discussed issues of further. Similarly, if you go to Central Asian states, most of the Central Asian states, I have visited one or two Central Asian states, and it was to my surprise. I should not be surprised though, because it had to be, because I saw most of the people there, they are very familiar with Indian dramas, with Indian actors, with Indian poetry, and with Indian style of, I would say Indian style of bureaucracy as well. So this is a time for us to think that why not Pakistan? Why Pakistan delayed its action to get together and get nearer to those states which we claim that we have shared past, and we have shared values, we have shared traditions. If at all we have shared values and shared past and traditions, we must have a shared future as well. We are part of SCO, we are part of ECO, and of course we should cooperate in these areas, which are very important. And this is very important that those private sector people in Pakistan, for example, Federation of Chamber of Commerce and Industry, for example, if you go to, for example, in Uzbekistan and in Tajikistan as well, and other states, it's a lot of scope for Pakistani investors to go there and invest there and leverage the potential they have in different fields. And similarly, I mean, for example, we have expertise in this agriculture as well. we should we should cooperate in the field of agriculture, we should cooperate in the field of education, we should cooperate in the field of communication as well. And these are the things which can be promoted through media and media only. And there is a need that we should focus on cooperation in media as well. Thank you.